Following program is for training purposes in TV news education. Some copyrighted material is used and is credited on screen. However, no more was taken than was necessary to tell the story of the event. YBA claims fair use of materials.
One of the things that makes Pop here so great is the fact that he has been struggling to create his own shot, but he finds other ways to get his teammates involved, whether it's setting screens or passing it to Jason Terry wide open along the three-point line, or Evie Bradley in the corner for a three-pointer, or down low to Brandon Bass, or getting himself down low for rebounds. So that's what makes him a great player. And for Kevin Garnett, he did sign a 3-year contract, but he's listed as day-to-day, and he has been injured. Walter, do you think KG will return for another season with the Green?
I think he will. I think he's very tenacious competitor, just as Paul is, and I think that he still believes he's got some play left in him. I just think, whether he comes back, I just think that his role definitely has to diminish, and we have to have guys who we can count on every night and allow KG to really rub off some of that competitiveness on the newer guys. But we can't depend on whether KG's playing or not, or we have to have some guy out there who can play, who we can't depend on, and let KG come in for and spot that guy. But Kevin's been great for the Celtics, but I think it's for what he does with his team, he does so much, rely so much on him, that I think we have to let somebody come in. When he doesn't play, we lose a whole lot. So we have to have somebody who can come in and give us the things that he does, but allow Kevin to kind of nurture that guy from the sideline.
Definitely. I mean, you saw that defense yesterday afternoon. When KG comes out of that game, it pretty much collapses, to be honest with you. It's not very impressive when KG's out. He's really that cornerstone of the defense. Still gets it done offensively, but he's one of the greatest defensive forward centers of all time. I mean, he's intimidating. He plays with passion. Like you said, he bleeds green. He really does. He's definitely a true Celtic. But the scary thing is, KG has had some cryptic messages this year about his future. He said, nobody knows what I know, so who knows? Maybe KG feels like his body can't take it any more years, or he just feels like mentally and physically he might be done.
Yeah, I mean, he's definitely one of the all-time great Celtic players and one of all-time NBA great players. We've talked about how valuable they are on the court, but Walter, how valuable are they in the locker room? How much does their influence of leadership mean to young players or just teammates in the locker room?
Oh, it's very valuable because you can't get that experience and that knowledge from anybody else. Those guys have been through any type of game, and I mean, they have great experience. They're able to pass it along, help guys get through tough moments, whether it's practice or training camp, or going through an offensive struggle, or guys who just, if they're not on their games right now, those guys, they have the knowledge and experience to help guys get through it. And I mean, you can't get that from anywhere else. And that's why they've been great for the Celtics, and I'm glad they've kind of held on to these guys, not let them go, because you can't teach that, or you can't replace that. And but I think moving forward, whether they stay or whether they leave, you still want to have those guys around, because they're going to really benefit that locker room and benefit the future players.
Definitely. I just talked about whether KG feels mentally and physically just done and his career should be over. Walter, how do you know when it was time to retire?
For me, as I always told myself, I'm going to play 10 years and then I'm going to do something else. So, after my 10 years came up, I was still working out, seeing, what I had left. And I just didn't enjoy working out anymore. Each day my workout just kept getting shorter and shorter and shorter. And that's how I knew it was time for me to go. And, I had offers from other teams, but I just didn't feel like playing anymore. I didn't feel like, I was one of those hustle guys who really worked hard and trying to get extra possessions, an energy guy. And, in the summers when I knew I was getting tired of it, I knew that it was time for me to walk away.
So who knows, maybe KG does feel that way right now, or just feels like his body's not taking it. That's all the time we have for Celtics talk in this show. Later on, we will be hearing from our very own hockey expert, Tom Kelly, on the Bruins. And we'll also be watching and analyzing the amazing sports video of the week.
Starting with a return to
Hi, and welcome back into K Sports Sunday. We've been talking basketball with Walter, but now we're going to explore some of Walter's different interests. So I know you're a big music guy, Walter. So how's the music career going?
That's great. I've actually I released a CD, Unbreakable, back in November. Haven't really promoted it as much because I've been just so busy doing other stuff and doing a lot of TV stuff and commentating games, and just been all over the place. But it's been a big passion of mine since I was very young. But it's something I've always done since I was 4 or 5 years old, and probably will continue to do. So,
What do you think your favorite hobby is? Do you like music, broadcasting, or playing?
Definitely music. Playing piano and guitar, and just that's what I spend a lot of my downtime doing. Trying to teach myself and those instruments. So definitely music.
How many instruments do you play?
2, piano and guitar.
So I know you sang the national anthem prior to All-Star Saturday night. Any other big singing performances coming up?
Yeah, I've done it. Well, coming up, not right now. We're getting a lot of requests. Like I said, I've been so busy doing stuff. It's kind of, I'm not really putting it's on the back burner. And so we'll see in the future. If it gets to where a lot of people are sending a request and it's just something I have to do, then I'll probably do it. But right now, I'm really cool just doing a lot of TV and commentating. So.
When I first heard Walter McCarty was here today, the first thing I thought it was Tommy Heinsohn saying, "We love Walter." Dude's been around for a really long time, has a lot of catchphrases. How do you feel about being honored in one of the great Tommy Heinsohn's phrases?
That's great. Tommy and I are really good friends, and just being able to get to know him over the years has been a joy. And it's always interesting to speak with Tommy because he has so much knowledge. This guy's been around for a long time, and he's been very successful on the court and off the court. So as far as teaching the game, coaching, and playing, so a lot of people forget that. But Tommy was a heck of a player. I think in his 9 to 10 year pro career, averaged I think 18 or 19 points in the NBA. He was All-Stars, NBA Player of the Year. I mean, he was quite the player, and so I just love talking with him, sitting there and just asking him questions. But he's been great for me.
We have a request right now. Can you sing us a little tune? Flex those golden pipes, Walter.
Now that'll cost you.
I got mine.
That'd be my cue.
WalterMcCarty.com.
That's right.
Check it out, WalterMcCarty.com.
He wasn't warmed up.
He wasn't warmed up, exactly. You get all the hits there. So, Walter, you played for Rick Pitino, you played for Doc Rivers. What's their coaching style like? Compare and contrast.
They're very different. Rick Pitino's a very intense coach, very fun to play for. His style of play is just really getting out in the open floor, shooting a lot of threes, mixing in defense and offense. He's one of those guys that can really adjust in in-game situations. He's one of the best in-game adjusters that I've seen. Jim O'Brien was just he was really good at preparing you for games. Defense was number one. Whenever we played for him, we were number one, number two. Defensive field goal in the league. So he was really keen on being a really good defensive team, but also making sure your team is prepared. And Doc, Doc's a former player, really calm and smooth, but he tells you like it is. He's a great motivator, and he knows the game from experience, and he's going to put his guys in the best situations out there on the floor to be successful.
Speaking of coaching styles, how do you feel about that recent coaching scandal over at Rutgers with the physical and mental abuse from their 2 head basketball coaches?
Oh, it's tough to see that. I've never been a part of anything like that where coaches throwing the ball or kicking players like that. And I mean, it's just tough. This is something that you can't do, you can't have. Parents send their players to your school to parent and teach and educate their children, not to abuse them. So it's very tough for that situation. I think they handle it in the right way, and hopefully they can overcome it.
Hopefully you've never been a victim of that, but who was the most intense or tough coach you ever played for?
Rick Pitino, easily.
Could guess that.
Easily.
Definitely could guess that.
So from a player perspective, how is it switching when you get a new coach and when coaches have different styles? So what is it like from a player perspective switching coaches?
For me, there weren't a lot of differences because they all come from that old basketball school of, everybody's going to, play your role. You have to, play defense, and you have to take good shots, to be good on offense. But they were all great. And for me, my game never changed. I was always a pressure in your face type of defender. Just really just bringing in the type of things that most players didn't do. I was doing the things that didn't show up in the stat sheet. So that's just what I did, and so their impacts really didn't have an effect on me.
Well, Walter, what's your favorite song right now?
My favorite song right now? Wow. Not really sure. I listen to a lot of old school music, so I would probably say one of my favorite songs is one of my songs, Unbreakable, on my new album.
WalterMcCarty.com.
What songs did you used to listen to get pumped up for big games?
Oh man, probably Eminem, the song "Lose Yourself." I think that was at the end of my career. That was one of the biggest songs that was out, like in 07 or 06 or something like that. So just that was kind of cool to listen to that, the beginning of that song, and just get myself ready to play.
Do you know if any of the current Celtics are listening to music? Do they get it going in the locker room before the games or anything?
I hope not, because my music is suited for setting the mood if you're with your lady friend or something like that. It's not
maybe after the game.
Yeah, after the game.
Did you have
What
any?
was that?
Like some ladies.
Do you have any pregame rituals that you used to do before every game?
When you play that much and you play in that situation, I think really you should make sure you're doing the same thing. The biggest pregame ritual was sleep. Making sure you just, I would go home every day, make sure I slept 2 or 3 hours, make sure I was fully rested and just ready to go play. And just going out to the arena, listen to the same stuff, doing the same stretches, the same way, in the same spot. You just get into these rituals of where you don't want to do anything different, because you start to get I forget the word I'm looking for, but you just don't want to you don't want to do anything out of the ordinary. You want to keep everything the same, and try to stick to it.
Did you have any superstitions, like a special armband or something like that?
I always wore like a armband on my right shoulder or right arm, and a headband, and I wore high socks. I had to have my high socks. That was key. And everybody used to always ask, "Why do you wear high socks?" And back when we first got into the Fleet Center, it would always be so cold, because we're there early, out there shooting, and the ice is on the floor, so it would be freezing when no one's in the gym. It's the coldest place. So I started wearing high socks just to keep warm, and kind of just stuck.
Jason Terry, also aware of those high socks, was dared by one of his teammates last year to wear shorter socks for one game, and he was 0 for 6 or something like that in the first half, and he put them on and ended up scoring like 12, 14 points in the second half of that game.
So there's something to the high socks.
Yeah,
it's not just
to the
the
high
one.
socks.
Maybe there's something to it.
Maybe I should try that.
Yeah, you never know.
Maybe it's just the comfort of thinking that if you have high socks that you'll do better, and then you end up doing better.
Don't ruin it. I still might want to try it.
Well, that's great stuff, Walter. Thank you so much for being here. It's a true honor. You answered all our questions. Thank you very much.
Thanks, guys. Thanks for having me.
Thank you, Walter.
Well, this would not be a complete YBA show without some hockey talk from our hockey nut, Tom Kelly. Here's his latest video blog.